Sairam, everyone. I listened to some portion of last week's discussion. I don't know. Auntie, you would like to summarize and then we can move on?
Yeah. Sairam to everyone. Last time we discussed all the four types of karmas which one does. Swami says that first is Nishkama Karma Yoga. That's the best because that takes you to Brahma Prapti. Second was Sakama Karma Yoga with the desire who does the work. Then with the third one was about the third one was I think it was what is it? Yeah, 1 minute. Sakama Karma Yogulu. Then
it's Karma Brashta, Nishkama Karma Yogulu.
Nishkama Karma Yoga.
Karma Brashta.
Karma Brashta. That is what we discussed last time. And then we touched upon that those who die during the Uttarayana, they reach the Kaivalya. And those who die on Dakshinayana, they go to Pitraloka and they have to come back. All these things we just discussed. But Swami gives a very beautiful meaning, inner meaning of what is Uttarayana, what is Dakshinayana. I think that we will do today.
Okay,
Sairam.
thank you. Sairam. I think we should be the next slide, I think, no?
Next slide.
We didn't translate this slide. Would we be able to quickly just translate?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Okay. Sorry.
Janana Marana Mule Viriki Praptam.
Okay, 1 minute. It starts with the Sakama Karma Yoga. Does it start with there? There are
After Viriki I Lokamu Ledu Radu, the next sentence starting from that.
which page?
After the caterpillar example?
Okay, Viriki Lokam Ledu Radu.
Yeah.
That's it.
Lokam Ledu Radu. You want me to read that?
After that, the next one after that.
Janana Maranamule Viriki Praptamu. That is the karma brashtas. We talked about karma brashta, no? For them, this is the Janana Maranam. That's going to be forever for them. Variki Pavitra Kalamu Vachuvaraku E Vidavaina Prayaname Chundru. Yes. Until
they reach a state of purity, this kind of a journey is what they will be taking up.
The first sentence means that they will attain Janana Marana?
No, so Janana Marana, what they will receive is only birth and death.
Such karma brashtas will have no other way. They have to go through this Janana Marana. That is the prapti for them. But ultimately they will already reach. Pranamo vadalutaku, pranamo puttutaku kudano, pavitra kalamo, pramanamo.
So for leaving the body, as well as taking birth with life, auspicious or good time is the real measure, and it's important.
Pradhanam. Bhava, yogulu, pavitra kalam vachinappude pranamu vadaluduru.
Oh, brother-in-law, yogis will leave their prana life only when the auspicious times come.
అందుకనే మంచి వారికి మరణమే సాక్షి.
Therefore, for good people, the witness is death itself.
Yeah, that is its witness. మరణమునకు కూడా మంచి కాలము అవసరం.
For death also, an auspicious time is essential.
ఇట్లు వచించిన శ్రీకృష్ణుని మాటలనే ఆధారముగా చేసుకొని అర్జునుడు క్రింద ప్రశ్న అడిగినాడు.
Thus, whatever Krishna has spoken, listening to those words, based on that, Arjuna is asking the question below.
కృష్ణ, ఏ కాలమును దేహము వీడిన పునర్జన్మం ఉండదో, ఏ సారీ
Krishna, at what time, if the body is given up, there would not be another birth.
ఏ కాలమును ప్రాణం విడిచిన పునర్జన్మము కలుగునో,
at what time, if the life is given up, next birth occurs.
దానిని నాకు తెలుపుము.
Please tell me what that is.
పార్థ, నీవు అడిగిన ప్రశ్న ఈ సమయమున చాలా అవసరమైనది.
O Partha, Arjuna, the question which you have asked is very important at this point in time.
ఒక్కొక్క సమయమున నీ తెలివితేటలో నాకే ఆశ్చర్యమును.
At times, your intelligence is giving me a surprise.
ఆనందము కలిగించును.
I am also delighted.
మరొక సమయమున అసఖ్యం అనిపించును.
At other times, I am disappointed, or means I find it unpleasant.
అజ్ఞానమని తలుంతును.
It is ignorance, is what I think.
దీనికి కారణము నీ అభిమాన మమకారములే.
For the reason for this is your own attachment and a sense of minus.
గుర్తులు. పోని తిరిగి ఆ విషయము చూచుకొందుము.
Those are the thoughts of ignorance.
No.
Okay.
ఆ విషయము చూచుకొందుము. let me
I am translating avi ajnana gurtulu anti adu.
Okay, అజ్ఞాన గుర్తులు. పోని తిరిగి ఆ విషయము చూచుకొందుము.
Okay, let's go, let's see. We will once again look at this subject.
Yeah. నీ ప్రశ్నకు జవాబు వినుము. నిష్కామ కర్మ యోగులు. Oh, then
I think auntie, I don't know whether in English they have read that. I think so far only they have read, auntie.
Illappa, we did it last time. We did.
No, let us come to your question. That's what it says. Pony, I think that's translation. And let this, what is on the screen, let that pass. Let us come to your question. That is what is on the screen. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What we have covered until then, until now, is Pony Tirigi Avishyamu Chuchukondamu.
Yeah, that's up to that. Then is this the same slide, or we have to take the next?
We have to go to the next slide.
Next slide.
But I just want to clarify the second sentence in what you read. Until they reach that state of purity, variki pavitra kalamu vachuvaraku.
Yes.
So what is that sentence? Can you just say that one again?
Until a good time comes to them, until an auspicious time, pure time comes to them, they will have to, this will be their lot.
Okay. A pure time?
Yeah, so that means then they reach purity. Until they become pure, this will be their lot. So the thing is, karma brashta, what is their lot is being born and dead, being born and dying. But even they will have to continue this journey until they become pure.
Okay.
Okay, when they come, so that is the time period for which this will continue.
Okay.
So that's it.
Karma brashtas will have to wait.
So that means they don't even have heaven. They're just born and die. They're born and die. Okay, so there won't be anything positive to look forward to for them.
Yeah.
So then I think they will come to the sakama karma stage. At that time, there is a change in what they were going through before. Because they may be going to heaven, there may be good influences. That's the next stage in the evolution. Okay, I
So
think
there's
there was some discussion on about why the worm, the worm
Yeah.
different from ape. Both are karma brushes. Why? Because even in terms of evolution, a worm is considered a lower form of evolution. Okay, ape is almost close to man. So in the in theory of evolution, Darwin's theory of evolution also, it's the same thing. Ape is the closest to human being. But a worm is something which is very, very
Low.
earlier form of um, the life
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 cycle.
life.
Life.
Okay, so life form. So from that evolution comes to ape, and from ape we become human beings. So I think that's what Swami is bringing up to a karma brashta. The highest stage of karma brashta is an ape. Okay, and then they come into human being. When you come as a human, the real human being, then at that point in time they will study shastras. They will know what has to be done, what should not be done. Then they will strive to do good karmas, and then it becomes sakama karmis. I think that's the way I understood. So I hope
From Sakama Karma, they have to go to the Nishkama Karma,
that's the next stage of evolution.
the highest stage.
Okay.
Next stage, this thing, next slide. Here.
we didn't translate this either. So could we
Yeah,
translate?
Okay, so we can. Okay, already you have read it, is it?
But you know what happened?
Ah.
That day I was reading only in English and I could not
Okay.
do both the things. So but it doesn't matter that let us read English one and then we can go to the next translate.
Okay, Sairam.
Sairam.
The yogis who practice Nishkama Karma pass away in tejas or splendor during day, while there is light in the bright half of the month, and in the 6 month period of Uttarayana, right or northward journey. They have as their first state Agni of fire. Hence, their path is known as Devayana, 6 months following the summer equinox, beginning Hindu month of Makara, January. Or since Agni is known also as Archi in the Vedas, Archiradi, offering Marga. Such yogis emerge from Prakasa, effulgence, and traveling through Prakasa, they emerge in Prakasa itself. They attain Brahman and are not born again. The yogis who practice Sakama Karma pass away in Duma, smoke at night. During the dark half of the month, during the 6 months of Dakshinayana, they pass along Dhumati, dark or southward journey, Marga, and reach Swarga or heaven, and they there enjoy the pleasures they have yearned for and worked for. When the stock of merit is exhausted, they get born again. Both these categories of men are called yogis. They will exist so long as aspirants and active progressive individuals exist in the world.
Yeah. Okay. Sairam Arun.
Okay, Auntie.
So
Nee
shall we-
Prakashana.
should
ప్రశ్నకు జవాబు విను.
నిష్కామ కర్మ యోగులు ఉపాసకులు అగ్ని జ్యోతిషు పగలు శుక్లపక్షం.
So Swami is telling Nishkama Karma yogis, the yogis who perform action without desire for the fruits, and upasakas, people who worship, and Agni.
Yeah.
What is upasakalu? Agni means fire. Jyotishu means it is effulgence or light.
Light.
Pagal is daytime. Sukla Paksha means a bright fortnight of the lunar cycle.
6 నెలల ఉత్తరాయణ కాల మార్గమున ప్రయాణము చేస్తూ బ్రహ్మమును పొందుదురు.
And the 6 months of the Uttarayana time period, they will take up the journey and they will attain Brahman.
బ్రహ్మ.
Sorry, Uncle. Did you say that it was Nishkama yogis and Upasakas? So like two different
Yes,
sets of people?
yes. Swami has
Oh.
used the word Nishkama Karma Yoglu Upasakulu. I think Swami is giving another name for the Nishkama Karma Yogis as
Okay.
people who are Upasakas. Okay, I think that's the way I understand. Auntie, is it
Yeah,
okay?
I think so. Here, Upasakalu means also devotees. Devotees
Yeah,
also, Upasakas. Yeah. Nishkama Karma Yogulu and Upasakalu. Agni Jyotishu Pagalu Shukla Paksham.
And
So
sorry,
the Swami is giving various time periods. One is, so if you take the 6 months of the Uttarayana, which is from January to July or so, and then Suklavaksham, bright fortnight of the lunar cycle, then daytime, and when there's light, and when there is fire. At these times, they will, when all these are present, they will leave their life and they will attain Brahma.
Okay.
So they will take the journey or something said like that. They will and reach
Pardon?
Brahman. Is that right?
Yeah, they will undertake the journey at this point in time, and they will attain Brahma.
And the first line, it means this is the answer to your question. Listen or something like
Yes,
that.
nee prashnaku jawabu vinamu. Listen for your question. Listen to the answer.
Arjuna was asking, tell me, Krishna, a time when there will be no Janana Marana, or that he was asking this question. So he gives this answer.
Okay.
Then the second, వీరికి మొదటి మజలి అనగా మొదటి స్థానము అగ్ని.
For them, the first stage.
Majli means step.
Actually, మొదటి స్టేషన్ అనగా మొదటి స్థానం. Swami
station given here.
In my version, it's a station.
Acha. మొదటి మజలి.
Okay. So the first station, so first stop, and the first position is fire.
Yeah. దీనినే దేవయానమని కూడా అందరు.
This is what is called Devayana.
ఈ అగ్నినే వేదములలో ఆర్చి అంటారు.
This fire is called archi in the Vedas.
అర్చిరాది మార్గమని కూడాను అంటారు.
This path is also called Archiradi Marga. Starting from the fire path, a path which starts with fire.
వీరు ప్రకాశములో ప్రారంభమై ప్రకాశములోనే ప్రయాణం సెలిపి ప్రకాశమందే చేరుదురు.
They will start the journey in effulgence. They will take up the journey in effulgence, and they will also reach effulgence.
వీరు తిరిగి జన్మమెత్తరు.
They will never take up another birth.
ఇట్టి వారికే బ్రహ్మ ప్రాప్తి.
Such people attain Brahman.
Yeah. Then the second one.
Sorry, Uncle. You said that this path is also called the path which starts with fire. So Archi.
So Archi is the name of the fire.
Okay.
Archiradi means Archi fire, etc.
Okay.
Beginning from Archi, which Swami has earlier said. No, Swami is telling about Agni, Prakashamu, like that. Swami has already given. Agni, Jyotish, Pagalu, Sukla Paksham. All these points, I think that's what's called fire.
And this path is also called Devayana?
Devayana.
So the path of the Devas, or movement of the Devas.
ఇక రెండవ వారు సకామ కర్మ యోగులు.
The second category are those who do action with certain wishes in mind.
దేహమును వదలి ధూమము, రాత్రి, కృష్ణపక్షం, 6 నెలలు దక్షిణాయనము.
So when they leave the body in a smoke at night and during the dark fortnight of the moon and the 6 months of Dakshinayana,
ధూమాది మార్గమున ప్రయాణము సలిపి
they take up their journey in the path which starts from Dhuma or smoke.
స్వర్గలోకం చేరి
They reach the Swargas or heaven.
భోగములు అనుభవించి
They enjoy the pleasures.
ఆఫ్ ద పై చెప్పిన విధముగా ఆ పుణ్యమును నశించగానే పునర్జన్మం ఎత్తుచున్నారు.
Just as it was mentioned earlier up before, they will when the balance of merit is completely exhausted, they will take another birth.
అయితే ఈ ఇద్దరిని యోగులనే చెప్పవచ్చును.
These two categories have to be called yogis.
ఈ రెండు మార్గములు అనాది కాలము నుండి వచ్చుచున్నవి.
These two paths have been coming from ancient or from the time immemorial. Okay, from the beginning of time.
జగత్తునందు ఇవి శాశ్వతముగా నిలిచి ఉండును.
In the world, these remain permanent.
ఎంత వరకని నీకు సంశయం రావచ్చు.
You may ask, till what time? You may have a doubt, till what time?
ఉపాసకులు కర్మాధికారులు ఈ లోకమున ఎంతకాలం ఉందురో ఈ మార్గములు కూడాను అంతకాలం ఉండును.
As long as there are upasakas and those who follow the karma with authority in this world, as long as they exist, these paths too will exist. Krishna said.
But both of them are called yogis. That's what both these categories are called yogis. Yeah, that there ends, I think.
So Swami's not talking about the people who do akarma because they don't have any journey to make, right?
The karma is basically first category or second category.
Is it akarma or what are you asking, Kalyani?
Auntie, see, I think this is vikarma, akarma, three things which we looked at. And Swami basically said akarma is the state of where the person doesn't perform action.
Yeah.
Actions, the results don't touch him. Vikarma, Swami says some people use the term vikarma, which is action which will liberate or something like that. Am I right, Kalyani?
Vishesha karma.
Yes, Vishesha.
Yeah, I think so. I was just wondering, remember, just like previously to this paragraph, Swami talked about the 4 different types of people. Sorry, I think I just looked up the correct word. Swami used karma atita, then nishkama karma.
Karmatita. Karmatita.
Karma is karmatita.
Oh yeah. So those people, they don't have any journey to make. So that's why Swami's not talking about them here.
They already arrived.
They already, okay.
I think Swami has already said, no, wherever they put their foot, that is Kaivalya.
Right. What does it mean, like they start their journey in smoke or in fire?
Yeah, so fire is light. So that means they are very conscious, they're aware of what's happening. Okay, so they are not, it's like when you take up a journey, if there's light, your cars have, your lights are working, it's daytime, there's no problem. You know how to maneuver in any situation and you will reach the destination without any accidents or without any mishaps. Dhumadi means even there is light, when it's dull, visibility is very poor, there is a chance for mishaps, accidents, delays, whatever. So the path which Sakama Karmis do is they go to heaven and come. Sometimes there is good thing, then they have to come back again and start the journey. So that is why Dhumadi. That means they are hazy. It is not clear. Their life journey itself is not very, very clear because the desires are like they cloud the vision. The desires cloud the vision, so your visibility is not very good. Okay, that's what is dhuma. It's not that, you know, when we die, there's smoke in the house. Then you can say, oh, there's fire in the house also, if there's suddenly house is getting fire. Okay. So I think, okay. See, sometimes some of these, if you just literally translate, you know, it may not, you know, give the right meaning, which is basically when the visibility is poor, mean they are not very clear where they are heading. That is.
In the following passages, Swami is giving a beautiful inner meaning for both this Uttarayana and what is Dakshinayana.
So that's why, you know, even if the dark forest, if you're walking with, you know, fire, if you're holding a, you know, fire
Torch.
or something,
Mm.
then you can travel, no problem. But if that you don't have the light, then it's a big problem. Okay, so that's why all these are, if there is fire, then even in the darkness you can travel. If there is light, daytime, then no problem. And if it is Shukla Paksha, it's much more better. Your mind is also very calm. And if it is Uttarayana, you will go towards the north. You know, you will go towards God. I think so. All this signify symbolic in terms of that you are walking with knowledge. You know, walking where you are going, knowing where you're going.
And Swami said that there was like the first station.
Yes.
So I can't see exactly. I think so. Is it like the Agni is the first station, and then the
Just to go back to Vedic tradition, usually their Agnihotris are there, you know. They keep Agni from the time of they get married. In their home, they are supposed to be fire. Okay. And that fire is continuously kept alive. That means they are doing fire worship on a regular basis. And actually, when they die, that fire is used, I think, to get, you know, burn the body also.
okay.
So that means they have always done the fire worship. Basically, Upasakulu. You know, they have been thinking of God daily as prescribed. So they are fully aware of what's going on. All that actually, there's a multiple levels of meaning. See, Swami gives these and then he wants us to go and do a research study. You know.
Actually, Majali in Hindi, they use story, first story building, the third story building. Is Tisri Manjali, Dusri Manjali, they say that. The same Manjali mats here is a stairs. For first, this thing, story, first story,
First floor.
First floor, second floor, third floor.
Second floor, third floor. So that means you are going up, you know.
Up.
Your evolution. So the first step in the evolution is Agni.
Is the Agni for those Nishkama Karmis.
So that, you know, that's why I think there was a discussion. If they have already reached Nishkama Karma, why is it taking time? I think, you know, we were discussing.
That question was also there.
Yeah, so that means even there's an evolutionary path there also. So which is signified by all this. So you're surrounded by darkness, but you have fire. That's the first stage. Then you travel, and then it becomes daytime. So then there is sun, so you can walk a bit more confidently. Then Shukla Paksha means the moon itself is becoming brighter. That means your mind is more alert. The mind is able to see things clearly. See, sometimes even in daytime, when we are going around, our mind may be somewhere else. That also can cause problems. So the mind should be alert. That is, then comes the Uttarayana, which is your sun itself is fully bright, going northwards. That means the person has gone past controlling the mind. Now they are doing the northwardly journey. That's why, you know, if, for example, the Pandavas are supposed to have taken up the, you know, there was no mental distractions for them. They have crossed that. But then they have to walk until they reach their destination. And that is the final one.
When the mind and intellect are clear and purified, that is brightness. When the mind is full of all the evil thoughts, yeah, when then that is Dakshinayana. That's what Swami is going to tell us in the future, in the following paragraphs.
Okay, I think first station is okay now.
Yeah. So each station is like a so each station, each of these, like the fire, the daytime, they're supposed to be achieved after subsequent births. Like
it can be in the same birth also, you know, but it's a path. You don't know. Depends, I think, in each person. Maybe subsequent births. I think Swami says, I think in Sandhya, even in Jnani, you know, sometimes has to take one birth, you know, something like that. So could be a few births. Actually, incidentally, I was listening to the discourse of Swami. Swami is saying, now you all have come to know me. In the next 10 births, at least you have to come to me. If you miss that, then it's gone. So that means, even if you have come to know Swami and we are working a lot hard, we have 10 births to finish that journey. Okay.
With him.
Okay. He says within the 10 births, you have to come. Okay. If you don't come today, you know, that's what come means. You come to that stage, arrive at that stage. Then if you, so you have 10 births, but that means, you know, we can't delay. We have to start early as possible. You know, that's so. When I saw that, I said, oh, Swami saying you have 10 births within which you have to somehow reach. If you are missing this, you know, let's work hard. You know, you don't want to leave it till the last minute. You know,
yeah. Daytime, light, Agni, and bright half of the moon, that is Shukla Paksha, all these describe the brightness of the path in which a person can travel. Everything is bright, everything is illumined. So it is our mind should also be clean and illumined so that we can pass through this path.
Because the journey is an inward journey anyway.
Inward journey anyway. And it's opposite of Dakshin. Uttarayana is Dakshinayana. Everything is dark. The second half of the Krishna Paksha, and then there is Dhuma, there is smoke. So all these things symbolize the darkness, the dark path.
I have a question. After leaving your body and your soul starts traveling, there are also inward journeys has to be applied. The inward journey, for that mind has to be there, right?
Yeah, we are in between, you know, in transition means we can't do much, Auntie.
No, see, because you said inward
like,
journey, so I was wondering.
Yeah, for example, you know, we can't do anything. For example, if you're in the flight, you know, what can you do? You're stuck in the flight. You can't do anything, you know, so until you land somewhere, you can't do what you can normally do. So in transition, there's nothing much which can be done. But when we jump into on the new leaf, or, you know, or new branch or new body, then we can continue.
Anyway, Swami has given 10 births for us.
No, maximum 10 births. But you know,
we have time now, but we should be active and alert during these 10 births.
So he wants us to finish the journey in 10 births.
Births, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. If not, then he says you have to wait a little longer after that.
Yeah.
In the previous slide, there was a saying, for good people, death itself is a witness. What does that mean exactly?
What is it?
See, actually, Shakshyor Pramanam, I think, Auntie. Death itself is, see, death is the proof that that person has arrived. At what time, when they pass away, will determine
what,
how much, you know, what stage they are in. So that's a big.
Yeah.
Oh,
Manchivani.
so you can tell the stage a person was in
By
based on.
looking at the time, certain things can be stated. That's the belief. The
We
time.
can, we can assert that, that we can easily imagine that is the person who dies. At what stage is, we can find out.
It's like, you know, your train is, you know, at a particular time. Okay. When a person leaves home, you know at what time they are leaving, you know whether they will catch the train or not. Okay, then you, let's say they'll miss this train and they will catch the next train. You know, things like that. So, you know, it's a connecting flight means, oh, they will miss the flight also. You know, something like that. So the time will let you tell you what could happen, what is in store.
What kind of a person he was. That's also Manchivaniki. Is there any saying in Tamil about same thing? Manchivaniki Madame Sakshi. In Kannada also we say, but in Telugu we say this. Manchivaniki Madame Sakshi.
So
What to my knowledge?
going on auspicious time is a real witness. The death will be the witness. for
Witness.
your-
Good person. What a good person.
whether you have been following all good merits in life.
Well, yeah, so see, you should understand when you say witness, you know, in a court case, some witness will come and tell what happened. Okay, that means they know what is happening. That is what here the sakshi means. That means that person can tell, because he's the person who is watching what's happening.
Death is the Sakshi. Maraname is Sakshi for a good person, Manchivani. So death is the Sakshi. Death is the witness for his how he dies. Some people suffer and then they die after long suffering. And some people die suddenly. They
That's not translated. No, I don't think that's
in
translated.
that is not given here. In Telugu, we read it.
That's why I say, sorry, auntie, you were saying something. Some people.
Some people take a long journey, that suffer a lot and then die. Some people die in instantaneous death without any problem, without any pain, without any suffering. So it all depends on how.
One discourse Swami is telling about Bhishma. See, Bhishma was lying down on the bed of arrows, and Krishna went to see him with the Pandavas. Still, he was waiting for good time. Okay.
Even
Still,
after,
he was waiting for good time. He in one discourse is saying, when Krishna himself is there as Sakshi, why is he waiting for good time? So some slight, ignorance, not even though just before he died, actually I asked Krishna, can I leave? Then Krishna says, yes, you do.
yes, you live.
Of course, he is that way is so great. But Swami is telling he was still waiting, even though Krishna was there.
Was it ignorance or for the, did he
When
believe?
Krishna came, he should have said, okay, I will let me go.
Yeah, that's what he was
Now I
waiting.
have seen you. I have seen your darshan. That's it. I'm going. But he still waited.
So I think it was a little ignorance still existed in him.
Exactly. When that got drained out, then he was.
He went.
But I think that's Krishna's Leela also. But I think so.
Yeah, maybe Krishna's Leela.
So only for good people, death is the witness, not for others.
See, everyone, death is witness.
Okay.
Death is witness for everyone. Time, time is the witness. Kala, the god of death. He's the one who knows what has happened to this person, what to do, all that.
How he dies, how he dies is the way how the death is the sakshi for them.
Sai Ram, even if a person suffers with kind of illness. At the last stage, if the soul leaves without any struggle, that is also you can think as auspiciousness. Time, it's good time. If the soul leaves at the good time, even after suffering, but at the last moment, no suffering, but just leaves the body.
Auntie, Maravname Sakshi.
She-
No one knows, we don't know. Only the death will decide. The God of death will say, okay, this person has to go here, this person has to go there. So I don't think any one of us who are alive can be the witness and decide, whether this person has. But at least when it happens to us, maybe we will have some idea.
If we are conscious about it. About our
I'm
own.
sure we will be conscious of it because we have to face the music. Suffering will be experienced by us only. The physical level, we may not be conscious, but I am sure at some
Yeah,
such level.
mental level, he might be, inside, he might be feeling what struggles he is going through.
Because most of the struggle is actually mental, not
Mental.
necessary. Yoga Kumaran wants to do a U-turn. Sorry, somebody message. Sorry. I didn't. No one thought about U-turn.
We are not able to hear.
Someone was talking, but I think sound is. Okay. Even when we die, actually, we will be conscious at some level. We will witness what's going on. Maybe not through the physical eyes or physical brain, but everyone will have an experience or witness something.
Yeah.
I think we went back, did we? Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah. No, we were reading, and last week we read all these things, but the Telugu translation and much
Yeah,
discussion
okay,
could not have taken place.
When they say both are called yogis, does that mean like they're both aspirants or?
yes.
It is Prakasha. Yes, he has written Prakasa. It should be pronounced as Prakasha.
So even Sakama Karmis are considered yogi because they are the first stage of yoga.
Well, is it open?
I also have to eat and I have to take.
What is it?
No, it's okay.
I think Subquanti.
Sairam, it's not me. It's
Yes, and yes, that is Santa Shivam. It's okay.
Oh, Manti. Okay. Sorry, Sakkoji. Both your voices are same, so I thought it was.
that's okay.
Sorry about it.
We are all thinking about death, so it's okay.
Both of you sound similar voices.
Okay. So any other thought, any other question, any other point?
Yeah.
Should we go on then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here, a doubt may reasonably arise. How is it that the bright half of the month is auspicious, while the dark half is not? What again is to happen to those who die when it is neither bright or dark, neither day or night? This is a legitimate doubt, and everyone has a right to know the answer. Now, you must first understand what is meant by Sukla Paksha, or the bright fortnight.
Mm.
It is the half month when the light of the moon increases day by day. But what is the relationship of the light of the moon with man and his death? The moon is a symbol of the mind of the man. Chandrama Manasor Jataha.
Chandrama Manaso Jataha.
Chandrama Manasor Jataha. Out of the moon was the Manas, mind, born. The bright half of the moon, therefore, signifies the progress of the mind spiritually in the divine discipline. The full moon signifies the fullness of what achievement. The bright half is, thus, the period when spiritual progress is attained. For the body, the visible moon; for the mind, the symbolic moon deity presiding over the mind. The increasing splendor of the mind due to the increasing realization of one's own divinity is what is meant by the word Sukla Paksha.
Very nice. You want me to do the Telugu?
Yes.
Yeah. ఇచ్చట మనము కొంత యోచించవలసి వచ్చును.
Here we have to consider it, think about it a little.
ఏమన శుక్లపక్ష దేవత అనుగ్రహము కాని కృష్ణపక్ష దేవత అనుగ్రహము కాని ఉన్నదని ఎట్లు తెలియను?
So what it means is, during the bright fortnight, God's grace, or in the dark fortnight, God's grace is there. How will we know?
ఈ రెండు పక్షములకు మధ్యలోను రెండు వేళలకు సంబంధం లేని కాలములోను దేహమును వీడిన వారు వారికి ఏకలోకము.
If people are neither in the dark or bright fortnight, between them, or in the between these two time periods, or something similar to that, if somebody leaves their body, what will happen? To which loka will they go to?
వారికి గతేమి,
What is their destination?
స్థితేమి
What is their state?
అని సంశయమును సరి అయినదే.
Such doubts are appropriate.
సర్వులకు ఇది తెలుసుకొనవలసిన విషయమే.
Everyone should understand this, know this subject.
ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు శుక్లపక్షమున ఏమో విచారించము, శుక్లపక్షం అన్న ఏమో విచారించము.
Now let us decipher what is
శుక్లపక్ష.
bright fortnight.
చంద్రుని యొక్క ప్రకాశము దినదినమునకు వృద్ధి పొందు కాలమును శుక్లపక్షమని అందురు.
When the effulgence of the moon gradually increases, that time period is called bright fortnight of the moon.
శుక్లపక్ష. అట్లయినా దానికిని మానవుని మరణమునకు ఎట్టి సంబంధమును సంశయింతురేమో.
You may wonder what is the relationship between that and the death of a human being.
చంద్రునకు మనసుకు సన్నిహిత సంబంధము కలదు.
For the moon and the mind, there is an intimate relationship.
చంద్రుడు మనసుకు సంకేతం.
The moon is the mind's symbol.
Symbolize మనసు.
Symbol of mind is moon.
చంద్రమా మనసో జాతః చక్షో సూర్యో అజాయతః.
The moon is born from the mind, and the sun is born from the eyes, or the other way.
No, no,
The
Chakshosvayo.
mind, yeah, the mind is born from moon, and the eyes, the
Are
sight,
born.
eyes are born from sun.
అన్నట్లు మనము అంతరార్థమును విచారించిన
If we understand, if we inquire into this
ఇంటి
inner meaning,
స్థూల చంద్రుని ప్రకాశము దినదినమునకు వృద్ధి కాంచిన అటులనే,
just as the gross moon's effulgence increases gradually by day,
మనసులోని పవిత్రమైన దైవీ భావములు,
even the pure divine feelings in the mind too,
దినదినముకు వికసించి
day by day they become blossom or increase in effulgence.
అంత్యకాలం అప్పటికి,
At the time of death,
అనగా దేహమును విడుచున్నప్పటికీ,
when that means when the body is left,
పూర్ణత్వము నొందినవైన అట్టి పవిత్ర కాలమును,
it will attain this fullness at that time,
at the auspicious time, శుక్లపక్ష దేవత యొక్క అనుగ్రహమని తలంచవచ్చు.
That is the grace of the
శుక్లపక్ష
God of the bright fortnight.
Yeah, I think there it stops.
Saramana?
Yes, Sairam.
Just a doubt here. So I understand Swami is saying that as the splendor of the moon increases, the splendor of the mind increases, and that is where the Shukla Paksha Devata's blessings come in. But at the same time, I'm trying to understand this from Shivaratri, exactly, where the facet of the moon decreases and this last facet is supposed to disappear, and that is where we are able to subdue the mind and reach. So I'm trying to reconcile both of that. So that's what
Yeah, it's a very, very good question. See, anyone else, Auntie, you want to say?
No, please go ahead.
So the thing is, Swami is talking about, see, here he's talking about people who are upasakas, people who are yogis, who are in the path. So I've already attempted to start working on controlling the mind. The Shivaratri is for people who have not attempted. That's a good point to start. Okay, because the mind is so powerful and we have not practiced trying to getting the mind under control. For such people, Shivaratri is very important because the starting the work on the mind is very good when only one crescent is left. And after that, the mind is fully gone, So that means mind is at the weakest point. We should start working on it. Okay, so Shivaratri comes before new moon. So if you start before new moon and practice a little bit in controlling the mind, when the moon starts coming up again, increasing, we are in full control. Because gradually, as the mind becomes stronger and stronger, we would have worked on it, and gradually, hopefully, we will reach a point where we become good at controlling the mind. Okay, so this cycle actually continues throughout life for us. That's why, Sahasra Chandra Darshana means a person who has practiced it 1000 times. So the thing is, even if we start learning to work on the mind when Shivaratri, because the last crescent of the moon before new moon, if we start practicing over a period of time, we will get better at controlling the mind, even when the mind is in its fullness. Okay, when it's powerful. But the thing is, the mind, when it's not powerful, we can't reach God also. The mind also should be focused on God. So not when the mind is weak that we can attain God. So that's why Guru Purnima. So See, we should understand when is Shivaratri? When Uttarayana starts. When is Guru Purnima? When Uttarayana ends.
And
Okay, so you have 6 months to practice. So a person who has started on Shivaratri will attain fullness of the Guru on Guru Purnima day. That's the significance of Shivaratri and Guru Purnima. Actually, yesterday was Purnima, the next Purnima is Guru Purnima.
Yeah.
It's the coincidence of discussing this itself is phenomenal.
very good, very good.
Oh, beautiful, Anna. And then that leads me to the next question, actually. So that means when we are talking about the blossoming of the mind, are we talking about the blossoming of the buddhi aspect of the mind? Because the intellect blossoms to a level where it can understand what is smara nityam anityatam kind of a framework.
The buddhi, buddhi is in control of the mind.
Yeah.
The
So
mind
that
which
is,
follows the buddhi with clear vision.
so the expansiveness that we are talking about of the mind here is about the expansive nature of the mind under the constant vigilance of the buddhi.
Exactly. It's an inwardly focused mind when it's fullness. When your meditation is fully fructified. Okay, then externally focused mind is weak. An inwardly focused mind is full.
Okay.
So
And yeah, yes, Anna. So when you say inwardly focused mind, are you talking about that, like that ekagrata concentration where it's like completely focused on the inner thing? Is like,
going back to Sandhya Nivarni, that light from the Atman, which is reflected by the Buddhi, and it will fall in fullness on the mind. The
okay,
mind
yeah.
is turned inwards, focusing on the Lord. Ekagrata
Okay.
can be externally as well as internally, inwardly as well as outwardly.
Yes, Anna. Thank you.
So the previous 14 days before Shivaratri, the mind has to go on attempting to reduce the mind, purification of the mind should start before that. Isn't that?
Yes, Auntie, I think, I don't know when we read about, Vanaprastha. I don't know if people remember in which Vahini we discussed Vanaprastha. Swami is telling, when the Amavasya time starts, you start reducing food, increasing food.
That is
Full
what, yeah.
moon, you have full food. Then you start reducing the food when the moon
That's
is
the
going
vrata
down.
which we take,
That is the process of controlling the mind.
controlling the mind, not only food. External, the mind.
Food for the mind also is controlled. Yes.
That's a vratam which people follow. They take only one morsel, then they go on increasing, and then they reduce.
Yeah.
When
Is it Dhyana Vahini, Anna? Like, is it?
I can't remember.
I think we read
Kalyani,
it.
do you remember? Is it Prema Vahini then? I think it's Prema Vahini.
I don't know.
Sorry, my memory is also.
Yeah, everybody is.
Smriti Vipramaha. But it's okay.
No. Don't say it for yourself.
Yes. See, then you have Chaturmasyam. All these festivals which we celebrate have so much significance. If only we contemplate. Actually, Swami has talked about it every year. So many Guru Purnima talks, so many Shivaratri talks. It's been repeated so many times. Yeah. Very nice.
No, it's beautiful because as much as we say, like, control the mind to control the five senses, by controlling the five senses which are more tangible, you have a gateway to control the mind. So it like whether you use food or you use any of the things that feed the senses, you can go back to the mind. So it's a two-way. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know whether you'll remember, we discussed something called samyama.
Yes, I know.
Mano nigraha versus indriya samyama. So I think there was Krishna Swami is saying, at death, the mind is only samyama, not nigraha. I think something indriya samyama, Swami says. That means even our indriyas all should be focusing on the Lord, external also, only then we can reach the Lord.
Nigraha,
Nigraha will not give us merger with the Lord.
denial of senses is nigraha. Sanyama is the turning into the inner interior. That is.
So all the tools given by the Lord should all be focused on the Lord. Indriya should be focused on the Lord. The mind should be focused on the Lord in full, and with the help of buddhi, and then it's Guru Purnima.
Like a inferno, no? Like everything. So samyama, what is the exact meaning? What does it translate as?
See, yama is control, but good control. It's like, Swami has used the word, if you have horses, first they're wild horses, mean you need to somehow break them, and make them stationary. Then you should train them. When you train them, then you attach hitch to your wagon or chariot. And without the help of the horses, you can't go anywhere. But first you need to have control, you need to have the reins, you need to direct them in the right direction. And then we will reach the destination, Gati.
Okay, now because I was just trying to see the difference between like the word nigraha versus samyama. So
Nigraha is the first starting point. Wild horses tamed and controlled. And then first you should make them stand still, which is tough. Then you should train them to walk on the path. That is samyama. But you are under control. Your reins are still, yama is there.
Okay, I got you. It's the force versus source kind of a thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is Ashtanga Yoga is yama, niyama. And in some discourse, Swami is saying that yama is the only final stage also. It's not the start. It is the stage. Everything else supports that yama to become samyama.
Okay.
And that samyama is samadhi.
Samyak yamaha. Is it?
Yes,
Samyak sanyama. Good control.
I think Sai Satish, you wanted to say something.
No, just wanted to thank you. It's very clear. It gives the force source thing. So what starts like initial disciplining, but ultimately it just becomes so very spontaneous, so very voluntary that no more force is needed. You're just in tune. Anything that you see outward or inward, you just keep seeing the Lord only shining everywhere. So yeah.
It's similar to, remove the weeds is one stage, but you have to cultivate the crop.
Yeah.
Nigra is removing the weed. Cultivation of the crop is samyama.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Empty it and fill it.
Yes, correct. Samskriti also is the same. It gives the same meaning.
Samskriti.
Yeah. Refinement. First of all, remove the weeds and then cultivate.
Yes, Brother Tasan.
Yes, I am, brother. So based on this one, the life Swami is talking about the wisdom. So in order to get the wisdom, we need jnana and bhakti. So that jnana and the bhakti will put three gunas to ashes. So with the light of the wisdom, then we can travel the destination. Thank you, brother.
Sairam, brother.
Right.
So, Uncle, you were mentioning about like in that Vanaprastha stage, Swami was saying how you should slowly reduce your food intake during the dark fortnight. So is that like, can that be applicable even in our life? Like in terms of we have to reduce like how much we engage in the world, like during that time or something like that? Or is there any?
Yes, exactly. Intake of all kinds. That's why we have to go to the forest to do it, Kalyani. In the world, it's not very easy. Some, some solitary existence is needed to practice. That is the idea.
But
Then
if
you
there was,
get into what's called sannyasa. Sannyasa, it takes you to samyama. So
Nyasa, nyasa is renunciation.
pronunciation.
Tyaga, nyasa.
so like for example, if there's something worldly that we have to do, there's not like maybe we can do it in the bright half fortnight or something like that. Like
When you are
would that be more like beneficial, I guess? Like
If we are controlled, if you have control during the other cycle, then you will be.
okay.
Okay, you should start in the downward cycle. If you are fully able to abstain from all input, that means you have good control. That's why you have to start on Shivaratri, when the mind is very weak.
Oh, okay. So it's like you're trying to give up something, then if you start that day.
Ah. So first, if you have traveled through the dark fortnight by controlling the inputs of the mind, and on Amavasya, you're fully devoid of all inputs, then you are in a better starting point to have control over the mind in the bright half.
okay.
Amavasya is like when you cannot see the moon at all. Is that right?
New moon day.
New moon. Oh, okay.
Amavasya is new moon day, yes.
But Anna, one doubt here, but they say generally for any activity to begin in the general ways of the world, they say do it in the
Shukla
phase
Paksha.
of the growing moon, because they
Yeah.
say that
No,
that is
no,
the
no,
way the
no.
activity.
Sai Satish, there are some actions which have to be done in the dark fortnight. Anything which you want to reduce, you start in the dark fortnight. If you want to treat a disease, you should start in the dark fortnight.
Mhm. But
Because it's easy to win over the disease.
yeah. But actually, Amavasya is not an auspicious day at all for, I mean, especially in South.
Anything. But
They
that's why we
delay.
have to start. Yeah. So it is controlling the mind should be started there. Positive sadhana, you do it in the positive.
Yes,
But
and I got that, because sometimes in some aspects of the Tamil thing, you say Amavasya is Naranjanal. It's like full.
Naranjan-
It's so that's where I'm trying to reconcile the ways of the world and the spiritual part. So yeah.
Yeah, journey is taken up on Amavasya day, saying that Niranjana. It's full day.
I see.
In, it all depends on the traditions of the locality where we live. That
Yeah,
is.
I think the reason is because it's not going to get any worse. Any change is going to be for the better.
Yeah.
Brother Tasam.
Yes, Sairam brother. So we all with the Babas, like brother, you, Satis, and auntie. But I never read anywhere that Swami said do the fasting. So we don't need to give up the food, yet eat the moderate food. If we eat more food, that means you are making like Kalyanis professional people to survive if we eat more. And if we eat regular food, then we can concentrate on the meditation, or you can do this spiritual sadhanas. It will allow you to do that one. Thank you, Sairanga.
Increasing intake does not mean you eat any amount. There are also some measure is there.
So the Shivaratri, the 14 days before before Amavasya, we reduce our, all the impurities of the mind are reduced, and on that Amavasya day, our mind, you said weak. Mind is weak or mind is pure?
It's weak, auntie.
Weak. Then weaker mind, can it take up something
No, mind is not powerful.
powerful?
It's
Yeah,
weak when I say it's not powerful.
powerful. So
Okay,
it's
see, yes, the belief is our mind is anyway powerful when the light is up. But the thing is, mind is not in our control. It's like, when we are fighting with somebody, when the person is weak, it's easy to overpower them.
Overpower him. That is it.
See,
So,
Krishna is supposed to have, the story of Krishna and Jarasandha. Jarasandha was fighting with Krishna.
yeah.
Whenever he came to fight, Krishna will go to fight and then turn around and run. Okay, every time he was running. So people would think, what type of fellow is, he's scared and he's running. Krishna was not worried. He was doing it again and again. Then somebody asked him, what are you doing? He says, that fellow gets so angry, he becomes weak. He becomes weak. I am waiting for the day when he becomes really weak. And when he was really weak, he finished.
Yes. So also our mind is less powerful. It is not distracted by other things, external things.
Yeah, even distractions, it's unable to focus too much.
Yeah.
Yes, Sister Maha.
Simon, brother, can you explain, the auspicious time we do good things, positive things. And I really don't get it, something in order to reduce, you have to do it in the darker period. What is that reduce means?
So, for example, you want to pay off your debt, reduce your debt, you should do it in the dark fortnight. You want to earn something, you start in the bright fortnight. You want to reduce your disease, you start in the dark fortnight. You want to increase your health, bright fortnight. So, for example, in Ayurveda, they will do what are called Panchakarma. It's a bit. I'm sorry. This.
No, it's good.
Question. So the thing is, Panchakarma means you had to basically, they will make you vomit, and they will bloodletting, you will sweat. That means you are removing all the toxins. If you want, in the English language, detoxification. Detoxification should be done when the body, when dark fortnight. The belief is the power of the bacteria, everything will also reduce at that time, and it's easy to get a hold of them and get rid of them. And then if you want to increase your immunity, say vitamins and nutrition and things like that, such things should be taken up in the positive.
Right.
So these are general directions, but I think I will sorry for distract, because
No.
Swami talked about Shubha time, so all these questions come up.
So if we want to go on diet, right? So
weight reduction, you should do it in anyone who wants to reduce weight.
when we have to do it in the Amavasa?
Before Amavasa, from new moon to
New
full
moon
moon.
day.
Full
New
moon
moon day?
onward, you can start. After full moon, you start.
After full moon.
That is today you can start. Actually, today is the first day after full moon. Anyone who wants to go on diet, start reducing your intake. You will be successful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure Swami wanted us to discuss this today. I'm sure very, very quite a few people maybe benefited from this.
Sorry, and I'm bringing back this thing, but isn't it like two sides of a coin? So you keep rubbing on one side, but it anyway augments the other side. Then you get to the other side and keep doing the same. So whole thing is ultimately to make the coin shine bright, right? So
exactly.
Ultimately, yeah.
But you can only do one thing at a time, so.
But isn't it, because when you're working towards decreasing your disease, you're increasing your health automatically?
No. See, if the bacteria are there, if you feed them, they will also grow.
No, but when you're doing a detox, automatically your health is simultaneously improving.
Now, in Ayurveda tradition, first you do full detox, and then they will start giving you the medicine.
Okay.
That I got it. And that I got it in terms of you're saying, like in terms of the activity, it has to go to, like, the negative has to become zero. Then from zero, you build the positive. So that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that even as you traverse from the negative to the zero, you're on the journey towards good health, right? So that
Yes,
process over
yes,
the
yes,
overall
exactly.
understanding has begun. So yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sorry, Anna, in line of Sai Satish's question, sorry, just for me to understand as well. So let's say you have a bad habit or the habit that you want to get rid of in order to better yourself spiritually, right? So in this, if you're following this and then you want to get rid of this bad habit, you will give it up in the new moon day or after the full moon.
You really want to start that activity in the dark cycle.
Yes. So in that sense, you're spiritually becoming better in a sense. So that's what like in here is.
You're prepping yourself to become spiritually better. See, it's if I ask you, if you're weeding your garden, are you growing your crops?
No, okay.
Okay. So you have to first weed out, take out the weeds, plow the soil. You are not cultivating any plants, any crop. Okay. Once you do that, then you plant the seeds. But even after planting the seeds, you have to watch out for the crop weeds. And then so that's an alternate process. At that point in time, you are in better shape. So you have removed maximum weeds. That is when you have not started farming, that's what you have to do first. Remove all the weeds, clean up the land, and then you start planting the seeds and then water. Then only it will work. See, if I start seeding with the weed, you don't know which one is growing where. Okay. So
Yeah.
that is the process. That's called Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Swami would say. So hope let's not get too technical, but this is a general tendency of how this is done. Okay. Sorry.
Can you also explain that Chandrama Manaso Jata
So it's
Hai?
from Purusha Sukta. Chandrama Manaso Jata Chaksho Suryo Ajayata.
Right.
So in the Virat Purusha, see, out of the moon was born the mind means the moon which we see in the world is the mind of the Virat Purusha. The moon which we see is considered to be the mind of the Purusha, okay, God himself. So from that only our mind is born.
Yeah.
Okay. Our mind is born from that. Okay. So the sun is considered to be the eyes of the Lord, Virat Purusha. Okay, that is also from that sun only our eyes are born.
Yeah.
Okay, so our sight is born from the sun. Our ability to think is born from the moon. But they are the mind and the eyes of the Virat Purusha. So that is a Sula. Yes, sir.
This Chandrama Manasojahat Adidevata. For the mind, the Adidevata is moon. For the eyes, the Adidevata, the presiding deity, is Surya. Without the sunlight, we cannot see. So sun is very important there, for the eyes to see. And here in mind, just like the moon wanes and what is it called?
Excess and wanes.
Axis and wanes. So also our mind also, along with moon's new moon and then full moon, it also changes. Mind also goes through several stages as the moon. That's why he's.
It's a cycle. We have our up and down,
Up and down. That is why people.
Everyone is bipolar to some extent.
Psychologically, who are affected people, they have their ups and downs during new moon and full moon. They say that.
It's 4:20.
Yeah. We can read the next slide, isn't it?
Sister Maha, I think she's raised her hand.
Yeah.
Sairam, so we are talking about the man or human and the heaven and yogis and everyone. Who are they? It says angels and devas. Who are they? Are we going to become angel or devas, and who are they? Sorry.
Who would like to answer this? Yes, Brother Varadan, you would like to? You would like to ask a question? You're muted, brother.
Evaluate ourselves for that. Nobody knows what we are doing, but other people do. So that significance of our activity, and that would decide the wherever we tie up.
I don't know whether anyone remembers, in some sense, Swami basically told that the senses we have is like the Adidevatas of the Lord.
That's
So these are all energies which actually aid, which is given by the Lord. They are aspects of the Shivaganas or whatever we want to call them. So it's God's energies which are part of our own body. They are part of this universe. They are who it is God's its own Amsa. Is the way I understand, sister. Once we merge with the Lord, maybe He will give us one job like an angel.
Div means to illumine. So they are devas. All the senses are devas. And I don't know about angel. Angel is translated as devata, or I don't know what.
I think Devata, I think Auntie Devata.
Devata. Div means the senses. Devas.
Who are
Thank you.
producing people.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, Brother Varathan, you want okay.
My previous is on the law. Sorry.
It's 423. Do you want to just read
Yeah.
one more?
She can read English translation later on.
You can do it next. Okay.
And what of Uttarayana? Be free from doubt on the score too. Worship offered, knowing the meaning of every rite, sadhana practice, knowing the implications of every step. These cleanse the heart more effectively and loosen the chains of doubt. Uttarayana is the period when no dot of cloud or whiff of fog contaminates the vast dome and the sunshine in all his glory. This is the gross meaning, but there is a subtle one too. The heart is the inner sky. There, the sun that shines in buddhi or intelligence. When the clouds of ignorance, the fog of egoism, and the smoke of attachment hover in the inner sky, the sun of intelligence is hidden and things look murky and are mistaken. Uttarayana of the heart is when the inner sky is clear of all these, and when the sun shines in full splendor. You must have heard the expression, Jnana Bhaskara, the sun of wisdom. The sun is always associated with wisdom and intelligence. When a person passes away with this equipment of the effulgent sun of wisdom in his clear heart, he can certainly escape rebirth. He takes the path of Agni, the Achiradi path, as said already, and merges in Brahman. Those who pass away in the other half of the year, the Dakshinayana, have the opposite destiny. When the heart is beset with smoke and fog and cloud, the sun is hidden and his effulgence has no splendor. And in the dark half of the month, the moon wanes, symbolizing the waning of Godward thoughts. The new moon night is enveloped in complete darkness, all spiritual impulses suffer defeat. The thick smoke of our ajnana lies heavily on the mind. This is the meaning of expression Krishna Paksha, dark fortnight. Those who die at such an inauspicious time reap an inauspicious result.
Do we have time for Telugu? No. Next week, can we do?
We have 4 minutes. I
Okay.
think we'll do it next week, Andy. Then it'll be fresh.
Yeah, it will be fresh. Yeah.
Because we are in the dark fortnight. I don't know whether it's good.
Yesterday was Purnima, and today is the first day of darkness.
So
Okay.
we have just 3 minutes. I think we close. And Sai Ram, everyone.
Sai Ram. Swami gives.
Yes,
sorry.
Aunty.
Please,
No,
please.
say.
Swami gives very beautiful inner significance of Uttarayana and Dakshinayana in these paragraphs. That's what I was.
Very nice. Very
Sai
nice.
Ram.
Oh. समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
Hari Om.
Sai Ram everyone.